Yo, yo, yo. This is Trading Trenches, your number one podcast for trading news and views, helping you navigate the financial markets. Today is the 25th of January, 2021. It's your boy Nathan,
It's your boy Warren.
and today we're here to discuss Debenhams Boohoo.
Boohoo Debenhams. What a day for Debenhams. It's been announced that today Boohoo are acquiring the Debenhams brand. Um, Now, we did mention this in our first podcast, the 2020 and 2020 losers, and Debenhams did fall upon this. And it's just a drastic fall, really. So boohoo Debenhams, but boohoo, well done. So we're going to discuss today um, what that actually means for boohoo now, and what that means for Debenhams, and really go into the numbers. So um, yeah, so right now boohoo has a share price of £3.47. Their market cap is 4.27 billion, and their turnover is 856 million. They, even though coronavirus has affected everybody, they still have grown 10% since last year. So that means that they're still doing pretty well in terms of compared to other retail brands. So we're just going to delve into that and see why they've done so well, and why the retail brands haven't really. So Nathan, anything to add?
Yeah, so it's, I guess, what we're saying, they bought the brand and the website just for £55 million, really. Um, and it's a massive shift in Debenhams, which is a company that's what 250 almost years old. Boohoo was only founded in 2006, so just about 16 years old. And for them to pretty much be acquiring the brand and the website is a major shift.
Yeah, definitely. And we just want to touch upon, this is a family business, I believe. It was
Mm.
founded in 2000, was it
2006, yeah.
2006? So 15 years of a new business acquiring once, which what Debenhams once was um, the biggest UK retailer at one point. Now
Mm.
that's a major accomplishment for Boohoo, and
Yeah.
I believe the CEO of Boohoo had something to say.
Yeah, yeah. So the executive chairman, Mahmood Kamani, said this is a transformational deal for the Boohoo Group. It allows us to capture a fantastic opportunity as e-commerce continues to grow. And he said that Boohoo's ambition is to create the UK's largest marketplace. Um, so it really kind of drives home the importance, of the deal, not only for Boohoo, but for their plans for the future and where they see e-commerce going in the future as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we're just going to delve into why we feel that. Well, my personal belief is that retail as we know it, I believe, is transitioned onto online.
Mm.
Um, and really why Boohoo are ahead of their competitors, such as Debenhams,
Yeah.
um, and really go into that really. So if we start off with the overheads of Debenhams, now everyone pays rent or mortgage or whatever. We can all imagine that the overheads for rent for all of Debenham stores throughout the UK will be astronomical. And at a time where all the shops are closed, there's no revenue turning over. I think we could all agree on that. So they're losing money, plus their staff that they're putting on furlough schemes and so forth. Um, every well, every day they are losing money. And now we did announce in our first episode that they've come into administration, and they've been acquired for 55 million. Now, this is the biggest once was the biggest UK retailer. So for 55 million, I think that's a bargain.
Yeah,
What's your
and
thoughts?
yeah, and it's quite smart what Boohoo have done because they haven't bothered to take on the costs of, you know, Debenhams's actual physical stores. So I think when this broke, Debenhams have about 120 stores, give or
Wow.
take, um, up and down the country. So this deal doesn't include those stores. They also think that as a result of this, Debenhams will have to kind of lay off about 12,000 people. So all of that workforce isn't included. Um, so in terms of Boohoo taking on this deal, it's really just the brand and the website, and so they can kind of add that website onto their existing platform, their website
Okay.
platform, and not have to deal with the 12,000 employees or the 120 plus stores that Debenhams have, that which you mentioned are a massive cost, and they can kind of just use the brand, the website, and then add it to what they're already doing that's proved very successful over the past few years, and very efficient to make sales and to grow their revenues.
Yeah. Um, totally agree. I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, I personally I use Boohoo quite a lot to purchase my clothes online, just because of the simplicity of it and the interface. It's very simple. It's a click of a button, and it arrives on in a timely manner. And the quality of clothes are good for the price that you have to pay.
Mm.
So I believe in Boohoo as a brand because I've bought clothes personally myself. Now that they've got Debenhams, they've now strategically positioned themselves to take over a lot of um a lot of Debenhams's loyal fans, because the loyal fans are gonna always continue to support Debenhams. So, but however, their business structure of being just solely online, it cuts off all the overheads of the rent. So
Mm.
they haven't actually acquired any shops. It's just the brand that they've acquired, which is a very smart move, I believe.
Yeah, and I mean, what they were saying, the chief exec, when he was saying for them to become one of the biggest UK marketplaces, it just opens up a whole new demographic. When you think of
Yeah.
Boohoo, you kind of think from that kind of 16 to 30-year-old age range. Now the Debenhams kind of market is a whole different demographic. You're probably thinking 40 plus,
Yeah, I would
30
say
plus
so.
really. And
Like
then
working professionals, yeah,
yeah,
around there.
and
Yeah.
then in addition to that, um, you've got Debenhams have kind of not just kind of clothes, but they've also got home. They've got the beauty. They've got other products that typically you wouldn't associate with Boohoo, but now that kind of opens up a broader, not only demographic but broader products that they can now market, and then they can use the success that they've had of online selling and then bring that to Debenhams. So when you consider it's only cost them what, 55 million pounds, the brand that they're buying is sensational value, and you can imagine them being able to, that turnover that you said, what, 860 million. I wouldn't be surprised in a year, 2 years time, that doubles from, opening it up to a whole new demographic, having all these new products that they can sell, and then adding that to, their successful online platform. It is brilliant. And I wouldn't be surprised if, as we said, as I said, sorry, the turnover even doubles.
Yeah. So let's just go into that really. So right now it's at £3.47 a
Mm.
share. So what's the upside on this, Nathan? What do you predict this time next year? Just it's gone
Yeah,
because it's gone up 10% this year.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
If well, now that they've yeah, if you can
yeah,
continue.
yeah. I mean, the big story is e-commerce is doing very well. So that's the big story, right? And they're in a very good position already, Boohoo, because they've kind of mastered the fast fashion e-commerce model. So
Yeah.
now we're adding fast fashion to home, beauty, and other products.
Mm.
Um, and we're opening up, that online model, e-commerce model, not only from 16 to 30-year-olds, but now a whole demographic. Um, I think that's the opportunities. And for me personally, I mean, in a year's time, I could easily see in this doing a 2x. If they're able to kind of integrate that new website to their platform and they don't have any issues. I think one of the headwinds will be just, the ongoing kind of COVID story, and people are
Yeah.
probably doing a little bit less shopping than they would have been doing, 2 years ago. But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
overall, you know, if you're going to buy your beauty and your home stuff, where do you buy it now? Everything in the UK is still on lockdown, so it's almost pushing um, consumers to these types of online platforms. And if they can pull it off, and I think they will. It might take them a little while, might take them a full year, but I think they'll be able to pull it off. And I think in a year's time, easily 2x from here, so maybe the £6 kind of mark, £7 mark.
Wow. So you heard it here. We're predicting that Boohoo share will double in a year. Now it might not. Um, obviously we could be wrong, but I've got a strong feeling at £3.47 now. It could definitely reach £6 by the end of next year
Yeah,
with the acquisition of Debenhams. I
yeah,
mean, it makes sense.
yeah,
Now we're gonna just move on to the next topic in regards to the whole general um, state of the retail market. Now, I think Arcadia Group um, are in a bit of trouble as well.
mm.
ASOS have been sniffing around. Nathan, do you wanna?
So ASOS are kind of front runners, and they're in talks with Topshop, Topman, Miss Selfridge, and as you said, the Sir Philip Green's Arcadia Group to buy all those brands. And it's a similar story, really. Um, all of these brands, the Arcadia Group has done very well over the last couple of decades through um, selling products in stores. And with the stores all being closed, with this trend shifting to more e-commerce, it's become so easy to shop online, get it delivered the next day. If it doesn't fit, send it back, get the money back in a couple of days. It's so easy now that um, even ASOS have kind of seen the opportunity to it, and all they need is strong brands on their existing platform. Um,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
if they, I mean, it looks as though almost 13,000 jobs at risk in the Arcadia Group because they
Wow.
went into administration last November. And if they can pull off this deal, this transaction, I wouldn't be surprised if ASOS do really well out of it as well, because again, they've already perfected the e-commerce model, and now it's just about kind of onboarding Topshop, Topman, Burton, Miss Selfridge, all these well-established brands to a platform that people know and love already. People know and love ASOS, and they shop there regularly. And I wouldn't be surprised if this does go through, that it does very well for ASOS as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just think we're in a transitional period of retail in general and how consumers spend their money via the internet now. Just basically from lockdown that we're experiencing, there's no shops open, so the obvious trend would be to go straight onto online. So I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Um, so I think that's it for today's episode. Um, Boohoo Debenhams. Um, it was
Well, well, well.
you done well.
Mm.
Wow, wow, wow. But yeah, fantastic job, Boohoo. And I'll be excited to follow your journey. Your share price is now £3.47.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got a spare £3.47, you can buy a share of Boohoo right now and
Yeah.
see where it takes you. Yeah, I think that's it. Nathan, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, no, that's everything for me as well. I mean, it's just an ongoing story, isn't it? E-commerce is this trend to online, digital, and if you can create efficiencies through using, internet or technology, you're going to do very well. Debenhams are 250 years old almost, but they didn't quite make it because they didn't utilize the technologies at their disposal, really. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs because of it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but life goes on. So yeah, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to subscribe to our channel if you like what you're hearing. We are now on YouTube now, so YouTube, Spotify, like, comment, subscribe, and just follow us on our journey as we continue to trade in the trenches.
Cool.
Yeah, goodbye, guys.
All right. Bye, people.
Bye.
This podcast is for information and education to investors and is not financial advice. Investments and trading carry risks to your capital as well as potential rewards. If you are unsure of any investment decision, you should seek a professional financial